Video Girl.
The Dare, aka Harrison Patrick Smith, is a name we've been seeing catching major buzz in pop culture conversation as of late. From throwing the most in-demand underground parties in New York to producing Guess by Charli XCX off her iconic viral album Brat, and even earning a Billie Eilish feature on the remix, The Dare is a force to be reckoned with. He's your favorite artist's favorite artist, but did you know he was working as a substitute teacher only 2 years ago? So, who is The Dare and how did he become the sought-after producer, DJ, and artist he is today, coined with the revival of indie sleaze? Welcome to Video Girl, an online community where we discuss and analyze all things music industry, marketing, and pop culture. The first edition of my Discovery 101 playlist, where I spotlight new emerging artists that deserve more attention, is coming out in the next couple of days, and I'm so excited. If you want to follow my Spotify and hear the playlist, make sure to click the link in my bio. Or if you want to submit to be in the next playlist for Discovery 101, feel free to fill out the form in the description. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram, where I update you all first. Now, onto the video. Harrison Patrick Smith, better known as The Dare, was born in Los Angeles in 1996. His family later relocated in Seattle when he was just a child, where he was then raised. His mom didn't work, and his dad, who sadly passed away several years ago, once had dreams of being an actor, but ended up marketing X-ray machines for a living. Around 4 years old, Smith's parents, in his words, forced him to play violin. He didn't enjoy it at all, so when he was around 12, he picked up the guitar instead. Playing guitar meant Harrison was able to play more contemporary music the way that he wanted to, and learn the songs he liked. At around 16, he also began to get into fashion, reading countless fashion magazines and learning about style from the internet and trends of the time. After high school, Harrison moved to Portland to attend the liberal arts university Lewis and Clark, studying English literature. It was here where he started an indie band named Turtlenecked back in 2014, with himself as the frontman. Turtlenecked gained a good amount of traction and a cult following in the Pacific Northwest indie scene, and Harrison felt like it was the first time he was immersed in a scene that aligned with his music taste. They released music between 2016 to 2021. After college, Smith moved to New York City in 2018 with his girlfriend at the time. He'd always wanted to live in a big city, but he told the Face magazine that for a while, life there sucked and was super depressing and lonely. He started going out to venues like The Glove in Bushwick and began to meet other left-leaning pop musicians, such as Coco and Claire, who he later produced a song for. Turtlenecked began playing shows out in New York, and Harrison told the Face magazine, "I was elated. I was trying to build up something exciting and colorful and confident, a rejection of how I was feeling at the time." Compared to the on-the-nose lyrics and electro-clash sound that we know from The Dare, Turtlenecked sound was less straightforward and more musically complex. When reminiscing on the Turtlenecked days, Harrison said, "I definitely felt like I needed to make my music impressive and complicated, and show off how smart or skillful I thought I was." After COVID hit, Smith knew he wanted to make dance music in some way, but his bandmates didn't care for it and it didn't fit in with their sound. He learned how to DJ on a pair of CDJs after his friend from college offered him a slot on Monday nights at Home Sweet Home, a dive bar on the Lower East Side. One day, Harrison turned up to his set wearing a suit jacket he had got from his job working at the consignment store Beacon's Closet. This was the birth of his signature look. Harrison's DJ nights started to gain some traction, and he got promoted to Thursday nights at Home Sweet Home. After brainstorming names and picking the best one, he named his DJ producer persona The Dare and began marketing his sets as his own party named Freakquencies. There, he'd spin 20-year-old dance tracks from Daft Punk, The Chemical Brothers, and The Knife, alongside Rowdy Indie from Primal Scream and Death from Above 1979, and random additions like Texas Inner Smile. It completely changed Harrison's outlook as a musician. Post-COVID, people wanted to go out, feel free, and let loose after being cooped inside, and Freakquencies provided the perfect space for that. It was a free party, and if you showed up early, you could get in easily. There was no exclusivity, and anyone could go. There were no tables or bottle service like the majority of more expensive clubs in New York. These club nights were purely about the party and created a sense of community. Harrison was still working a regular job as a substitute teacher at a private school and would run his club nights every Thursday after work, DJing until 3 a.m. After self-releasing his debut single as The Dare, called Girls on August 5th, 2022, his solo music career took off. The video has the nostalgia of something released during the MySpace era of music, and the song sounds like it could have come out years and years ago. Harrison said the song started as kind of a joke. He and his friends were making goofy songs for fun, and he had sent it to them to make them laugh. There was no part of him that was making something to release, but when he listened back, he thought to himself, "This is kind of good." He began to play it during his gigs with Turtlenecked and realized the crowd was responding better to this party rock electronic song than the rest of the indie Turtlenecked songs. Girls was the catalyst for Harrison to begin making more electronic-inspired songs under The Dare. The video for Girls was shot at Home Sweet Home by Jake Lazovic during one of Harrison's DJ sets. He told Paper Magazine, "We invited all our friends and told them to go crazy while I DJ'd and ran around. A lot of people in it are fellow musicians or collaborators, and some of them are girls." Harrison had even sent the song Girls to labels and music industry people prior to its release, who shrugged it off. But once it came out, he witnessed its organic growth and snowball effect, along with the reaction to it during his parties, and that's where the real hype for The Dare began. He told The Face magazine, "When people started calling me The Dare and not Harrison, that was the moment I realized the persona was a real thing in people's minds. They didn't even know who I was, they just knew about it as a phenomenon. People began to attend Freakquencies for The Dare rather than just the party, and he began to gain attention from other musicians he respected. Girls didn't have the streams typical of some viral hit, but it made a mark culturally, which I think says a lot more about its impact." Smith's friend Olivia, who runs the Indie Sleaze Instagram account, posted about The Dare and his music, which led people to associate The Dare with the concept of Indie Sleaze and coin him as the face of its revival. After all the hype that The Dare had amassed after the Frequency club nights and the success of Girls, numerous record labels started a bidding war over who was going to sign Harrison. He ended up signing to Republic Records in April of 2023, home to artists like Drake, Ariana Grande, and Taylor Swift. He then released his debut EP under Republic Records, named the Sex EP, on May 19th, 2023. The track Bloodwork off this EP was previously released under Turtlenecked until he realized he wanted to self-release it for The Dare and took it down. Charli XCX is an artist that has always been ahead of her time and especially in the know. She showed love to The Dare, saying his song Girls goes off in the club, and tapped into the world he's built in the New York club scene, collaborating with him on the track Guess of the deluxe version of her album Brat. She teased this song before it was out at the Dare's events, winning over his attendees and having videos of the snippet make rounds on social media. She also had the Dare open for her on some stops of the Brat tour, and they have formed a close working relationship. On August 1st, Charli XCX dropped the Guess remix featuring Billie Eilish, marking the Dare's biggest moment in mainstream pop culture so far. To think this time 2 years ago he was still a substitute teacher, and now he produced a track with two of the biggest stars in pop music is incredible and inspiring. The Dare's upcoming album, What's Wrong with New York, is set to drop on September 6th and will feature songwriting and production collaborations from Dylan Brady of 100 Gex, Emil Heine, Ramil Hemnani of Brockhampton, Chris Griotti, and more. What we can learn from The Dare. I think The Dare is a masterclass in rebranding and world building. World building is just as, if not more important than the music these days. Creating a world for the listener to escape to, paired with the music and aesthetics to match, is the recipe for success and crafting a loyal fan base. He seemingly unintentionally went against the grain for today's standards of how to make it in music, which typically revolves around TikTok virality and seems to be the main way to build leverage in terms of labels actually taking interest in signing acts these days. The Dare reached people in real life and through word of mouth by creating hype for himself through the things he could control. This included taking matters into his own hands and self-releasing electronic-leaning music after his bandmates weren't on board, or marketing his DJ sets as his own club night. He created community and a place for people to go. His club nights got bigger and bigger, and he became the it boy of New York. And now, thanks to opportunities like his collaboration with Charli XCX for Guess, he is being spotlighted in a worldwide mainstream way. The Dare is more than the music. He's a movement. He created unforgettable, personal, and memorable experiences for fans, and has made such a mark in modern club culture. His story has definitely inspired me to think outside of the box when it comes to artistry, and to follow your intuition rather than doing what everyone else is doing. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Love you all and see you next time.